I began this program at the same time I was beginning a new position. I made the switch from a general education 7th grade English teacher to a special education English teacher teaching grades 9 through 12. It's safe to say that I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Luckily, through a lot of hard work, looking back now, I can say that that change was for the better. As a general education teacher coming from teaching 7th graders, I had a lot of preconceived ideas and assumptions. I had only been teaching for a total of 3 years at that point and was starting to wonder if teaching was for me. It had been difficult to make and maintain relationships with my students because I only had them for 1 year and then they were off to another building. While teaching 7th grade, I felt that getting through the curriculum was the most important thing. We had established a pacing guide, and to keep up with the other teachers, I thought I just had to keep plugging along, teaching mainly direct instruction up in front of the room. If students were stuck, I would reteach the material, but I didn't implement many new teaching strategies in order to ensure success. I didn't fully understand the meaning of individualized learning. This program has helped me immensely with this. The CEC Standard 3.1 states that beginning special education professionals understand the central concepts, structures of the discipline, and tools of inquiry of the content areas they teach, and can organize this knowledge, integrate cross-disciplinary skills, and develop meaningful learning progressions for individuals with exceptionalities. When I made the move to teach special education at the high school, my first class of the day was made up of seniors who all had a diagnosis of emotionally disturbed behavior disorder. I quickly learned that I was out of my element and that I was going to have to get more creative with my lessons if I wanted to gain my students' trust and their attention. I had dealt with students who had behavior problems before, but a lot of my focus in resolving the behavior was to just try to make it stop, and if it didn't, then to remove the student from the rest of the class so that it wouldn't be so disruptive. I learned that forging relationships with this class would go a long way, and that became a point of focus for me. I learned who these kids were and learned their behavior triggers, and also learned how to follow a behavior plan. This class opened my eyes to understanding why a student displays a behavior, and it toughened me up and allowed me to understand that I should not take things personally. More often than not, a behavior that a student displayed had absolutely nothing to do with me. Through this program, I learned how to write a functional behavior plan and learned how to recognize those antecedent behaviors. When I began in this program, another thing I was not well versed in was assessments and analyzing data in order to make well-informed decisions. I was also limited in my collaboration skills and my ability and willingness to communicate with others effectively. This was something I learned that I would have to come to terms with. CEC Standard 4.3 states that beginning special education professionals, in collaboration with colleagues and families, use multiple types of assessment information in making decisions for students with exceptionalities. I would not have survived without the collaboration and communication that I have engaged in with my colleagues, parents, students, and administrators. I went from not knowing what AIMSweb was to becoming a building trainer for the implementation of AIMSweb Plus. I entered this job knowing that IEPs were a component of it. I was nervous about conducting meetings, but as both of my children have had an IEP since preschool, I did have some experience in what to expect. However, that is another thing entirely to lead a meeting. That is something I have gotten more confident with as I have completed more courses at FHSU. Of course, the classes in which I was able to write IEPs was helpful, but learning the legal issues surrounding special education was extremely eye-opening. It made the things that I was doing make so much more sense. I always understood the importance of developing a plan for a student with exceptionalities, but understanding the cases and the historical work that went into making special education what it is today made my work so much more meaningful. I feel that I now am able to demonstrate an understanding of legal and professional issues of special education, as well as the laws and policies of special education, which is part of the program learning outcome number 1. With this, I also gained the understanding that an IEP is a living, fluid document. It should not be treated as if it is set in stone because it isn't. Students change, they grow and evolve. Sometimes goals are met and interventions work and new goals should be made. Other times, placements and interventions are not working, and therefore the plan should be amended. Another preconceived notion I had regarding special education is that the focus is on academics when that is only part of it. Social and emotional well-being, communication skills, functional adaptive skills, all of this makes up an individual. I also learned that in implementing individualized learning that I need to follow program learning outcome 3 and organize learning environments and manage classrooms to support academic and social emotional growth, equality, and learning of diverse students. Culture and family background definitely plays a role in a student's learning and needs to be taken into account when establishing a safe learning environment and implementing instructional strategies. A change I have made as I move forward is that through my experience in this program and in working as a special education teacher for the past 3 years, is that I have started to see myself more as a leader in my own classroom who works to establish and maintain a safe learning environment in my classroom, and a leader in my department in my building. I feel more confident now having engaged with others in this program who are going through many of the same things and some different things than I am going through. Having conducted my own IEP meetings and having completed the majority of my coursework. I feel prepared now to do my job, and I have the confidence that I can do it well. I know now to make meaningful observations of my students, to meet with them, to assess them, to monitor them, and to tailor my instruction to fit their needs. I will continue to advocate for them and to teach them how to self-advocate. I will continue to be a learner even after this program has ended. I understand the importance of staying current professionally and in researching evidence-based practices. I will engage in mindfulness and critical reflection so that I am constantly improving. This program, combined with taking a new position I never knew I wanted, has let me know that I can do hard things and that I can challenge myself like never before and come out on the other side better for it, and have become a better teacher overall. I entered this program not knowing what to expect and uncertain if it was for me. I was once at a point where I didn't know if teaching was the calling I thought it was, and now I feel more confident and comfortable with my career choice than ever before. Thank you.